What's up, guys? We are going to talk about Nobody 2. It just dropped here opening weekend. Let's just go ahead and just dive right into this one here, right? So we pick up with this story where Hutch, played by Bob Odenkirk. Hutch is just consumed by his work, and we really see it kind of in this opening sequence that they have where he is just consistently not there for dinner. He's not there for the family. There is a bunch of text between him and Becca, his wife, played by Connie Nielsen, where they're just like, "You're not there. I think we need a break." Then she deletes the message. And this is a whole strain on the marriage as Hutch is doing all of these extra assignments, all this extra work to pay back the debt that he had occurred by torching the money at the end of the first one, right? It was some like $30 million or something like that. Some obscene amount of money, right? And so we get to a point where Hutch goes, "Listen, I need a break. I need to just have time with my family." He's missing the family dinners. He's missing his son's basketball games. His son is getting in fights. I mean, all the typical family stuff, right? And his handler, his person who's giving him the assignments, right, aka the barber, played by Colin Salmon, he's like, "Listen, good luck. I mean, this is in your nature. Wherever you go, it's gonna follow." I mean, it's a very John Wick type feel, right? So where do they go? They go to a place that Hutch was brought to when he was a kid called Plummersville, apparently set in Wisconsin. Hey, and they're like, "We're gonna go there. It's got the oldest water park in the country, and all these memories that we're gonna make together, and hot dogs and arcade and all this other kind of fun stuff, right?" And so they go there and they try to build these memories, and everything seems to be going well, all things concerned. And then his son, Hutch's son, Brady, played by Gage Monroe, gets into a fight at the arcade because this one punk kid starts picking on his sister, or because he gave his tickets to a girl that he thought was cute. The kid took it like he was hitting on him. Boys will be boys. They got into a fight. Hutch steps in. He breaks up the fight. On his way out, one of the bouncers or the workers there at the arcade like smacks his daughter upside the head, and Hutch loses his shit, and he just whoops everybody's ass, right? And then come to find out that the local sheriff and the police are tied in with this really, really bad person on Interpol's like top 10 most wanted, right? The bad guy by the name of, please bear with me here, Ladina, played by Sharon Stone, who, by the way, I mean, I hated everything about how this bad guy was created. I mean, shoulder pads were back in season, and just the weird colored glasses, and she owns like a casino when someone got, her whole intro was just weird, and I thought just set a weird precedence. But anyway, so he gets tied up with that, and then now she wants to go to Plummersville to take him out because he ended up in the process of trying to make things right. He ended up torching all of her money and a bunch of other stuff, and next thing you know, he's just back in the action, right? That's literally the story right there, right? In 3-ish minutes, that's the story. It's so loose of a story. It's not even funny. It's not really even tied to the first one at all, aside from the fact that we have the characters that we have, and he's still in the same line of work. I felt it could have been better done as far as maybe someone from the prior kind of followed him wanting revenge in that sense, not like literally walking into this family vacation. If he would have just not walked back in and had a fight at the arcade, it would have been a normal family vacation and no one would have been none the wiser. Right? It just would have been a vacation. This was a really perfect example of like this story is brought onto us by our main character and the mistakes that they made. The action was fine. I mean, it was whatever. You can tell it's choreographed or made by the same people that did the John Wick movies, which I am a huge fan of. For me, it's just weird seeing it though, because Hutch looks like he's straight out of the Midwest. Movie takes place in Wisconsin, again, woohoo. But he's in khakis and he's in a weird plaid button-down shirt, and he sounds Midwest. He looks Midwest, and it just feels weird to see him whoop ass in that capacity when we're used to something like John Wick. Towards the end, right, we end up with this really big, like our final battle scene takes place at this really old water park that they turn into just hell, right? They take one of the water squirters from the top of a water slide, they replace it with an old like World War II Gatling gun, like crank Gatling gun, that Hutch's dad just sits up there and starts going crazy. They wire the whole place with C4. They tape revolvers to the sides of water slides. They put more explosives inside of the funhouse. They put a landmine inside of the ball pit so that when this, kill squad from Ladina comes through and is like chasing them through this water park, they're constantly having all these booby traps that are set up. I mean, it is the most Midwestern family reunion gone wrong that you could probably write. And oddly enough, though, it's probably exactly what the rest of the world feels like it is to love a pair in the Midwest. Oh, you got a water park and you have guns strapped everywhere? That tracks, right? That's what this felt like. And it just felt like we just kind of bopped from one action sequence to the next with little bits and bobs of story that were tied into it. And I don't know, y'all. I got about halfway through the movie and I just wanted more, and I wasn't given any more. And I really didn't feel like it was there for it, right? It would have been fine as like a streaming movie, like just get it released that way and just be done with it. I don't think it was worth a full price ticket. I'm kind of upset about that one, I'm not going to lie. And then you go a little further and you have some flashbacks from Hutch and his dad and his brother. And his brother apparently had gone out to like China or something like that on some kind of a journey of self-discovery or something like that, whatever the case is. His brother Harry, played by RZA, and in the end, in this final battle that happens, he squares up against some of this kill squad also, but he's a straight up ninja. Like, he's got a katana. And then, he, of course, in true movie fashion, fights the one henchman, the right-hand man to Ladina, that also just happens to love wearing a suit with a machete on his back. So they have a sword fight. And, of course, that ends in, like, a really odd Kill Bill-style finale for that battle where he slices through the man's handgun, through his pistol, and then that carries through and slices his face right in half. And I'm like, come on. And then there's the cheesy one-liner, right? Don't bring a gun to a katana fight. I don't know. The first movie was fun, and I thought it was fun because it was done in such a way similar to John Wick that it was just enjoyable, right? And the second one, I just felt like it wasn't there. And there, the insert of quippy lines trying to be like a family man and a parent in the middle of these fights. He got into a fight on one of these duck boats, and someone had like a harpoon or something there that they kept trying to like stab towards each other with, and Hutch takes it and he throws it off the boat, and he's like, there, now nobody gets the pull. And as he's like making jabs and punches and swings and things like that, he starts saying like, use your words, calm down. And I'm like, it's not needed. I feel like they tried too hard to be funny. They tried too hard for a story that's been done a billion times, and they didn't even really latch onto that all that well. So all in all, I'm disappointed in the movie. I think I would have been happier if I had pushed this to a Tuesday movie. I think the rightful place for this film is a streaming service. I don't think this one is worth a full ticket price. If you're going to go to the theater to watch it, it's worth something like a Tuesday $5, $6 movie night type of a situation. Again, that's my honest opinion about it, guys. I don't really know what else to say to it, right? I guess if you had to ask me in, a super short way to condense the whole thing, it almost feels like if you were to take John Wick and the Expendables, or John Wick and the A-Team, and smushed them together, you get Nobody, and Nobody 2 is kind of what it ended up breaking down to. So that's kind of my take on it, to be honest with you. If you saw the movie, if you plan on seeing the movie, I'd love to know what your comments are, what your thoughts are down below. Go ahead, throw that in there. Give this video a like. Always make sure to hit that subscribe button. That way you can be notified the next time that I drop a quick take or a full take here. Also, feel free to drop some movie recommendations or something that you want me to take a peek at down in the comments as well. I'd be more than happy to consider it. I'll tell you right now, I don't mess with horror. I really don't. Someone in one of the last videos had said, hey, I need you to check out Weapons. And I hadn't heard about it, so I went and I looked at the trailer, and I was like, nope. Nope. That's a hard pass with that, man. That I can do creature features, right? I don't mind that. That's whatever. But you start getting into possession, you start getting into kids. Those are hard freaking no's for me, especially when it comes to the horror realm of things. So, but anyway, Nobody 2. Sorry, guys. It was a flop for me. But anyway, thanks for watching, guys. Until next time. See ya.